Hello, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to another live trading session. It's Tuesday. As usual, we're going to start trading, doing some TA on the market levels and see what we can trade. Meantime, if you didn't manage, please leave your request in the comments on the Twitter post. And at the end of the live, I'll take the request. Also, like, retweet, and comment. It helps a lot with the algorithm. All right. Okay. One second. Before I can start, I'll give it 30 seconds, 1 minute. Because usually, hello, 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 hello. Yeah, the sound should be there. The sound should be fine. Everyone can hear me. It's all good. From what I see on the studio, everything is fine. All right. So, well, let's get it started. Funny enough, last night I posted exactly here that Bitcoin will dump. Exactly here. My initial plan was to take a swing failure of that pivot high, which I didn't had, and I took the 5 minutes M, but I took it 0.5, didn't took it more than I wanted. I actually wanted to get a 1% position of a short trade there. Yeah, I explained the reasoning on Discord and also on Twitter. I explained the 8.16% level from USDT dominance, and that was one of my main triggers. And also, if you go on a daily basis, you'll see that here it's a big area of resistance. So I didn't expect that Bitcoin to just flash pump through that area. Now we are inside the Monday candle. Easy stuff. We can actually draw the range and wait for the swing failure of either sides. So that was the short last night, which I publicly explained and the reasoning behind it. And I think with profits, if anyone managed to take it, make it risk-free accordingly. And then we hit the long. This morning I hit the long, which I explained yesterday, which was the ideal long, let's say so, which I would have liked to get filled yesterday, but it's not a problem because we got filled today. I did mention about 65.6 level that it has to hold. It held perfectly. Now we had a nice retest here of that intermediate internal bullish market structure shift because we have a 3-drive structure, then we broke the structure to the upside and the golden pocket retest. Yeah, so it was more than enough for a low time frame log. Now, I don't know, I think it played out pretty good, pretty nice. I'll put this one here. And let's start classically. Let's start with total, others, and so on to see what we have on the charts, to see what we can expect from the market in the upcoming period. And Not only to mention the fact that we have phone MC, and it's going to be pretty tricky. So be careful with that one. All right. All right. Let's get it started. So total. Let's go on a high time frame. Weekly. Let's get out the squiggly. Total, we had a perfect tap of the 2.02 trillion. I did mention that most likely we'll have a good reaction here at the lows. But the thing is, don't try to be overly bullish. I did mention not to get overly bullish because it's basically a bearish fair value gap. We are inside the bearish fair value gap, and even if we put a 0.5%, let's say that it's about here in the middle, that would be only a bearish retest before we go a little bit lower. So that would mean I'm expecting Bitcoin and Ethereum to retest the lows again. We indeed have a W, and that confirms that we are back inside the range. As long as we are back inside the range, we should trade it accordingly. Yeah. This will be resistance definitely, the mids of the range here, 2.4. So there is a good probability that if we tap that area, most likely we'll reject it. So I'm not trying to call for anything because that's not profitable. What I want to do is actually to play level by level and enjoy what the market is giving me and not call for anything. On a high time frame, I will show you my plans and what I'm accumulating, let's say. Others, we had a perfect tap of 78.6, but still one of my main levels, 158, was front run. Issue is that if we go on a weekly basis, we have a big week to the downside and also on daily. So I'm expecting that this week will be retested at some point in time. This is why I'm inclined on that 158 retest for the market uh, to prove itself that it's indeed breaking out and reclaiming. I want to see a daily candle body closing above 186. All right. Right now we have two rejections, and that means weakness. Yeah. So we have two candle bodies rejecting already the previous key S&R. So as long as I don't see something like this, and then I'll bid again here and I'll sell here. I'm not interested in anything else than maybe some take profit from longs and maybe some short that I'll show you on stuff like ZEC. So we had total, we had others. Let's go on ES. ES is strong. I don't expect traditional market to top anytime soon on a weekly to monthly basis. I'm looking at this 8,000 to 8,500. That's a good area for some potential resistance in this red box. So I still expect to go higher and higher. Maybe take this gap and then continue even higher to the upside. Now, 1 second. Let me put some water, please. Okay, back. I'll analyze everything, don't worry. But please, if you have a request, put it on Twitter. Don't put it on the comments here because I'll not read them. So in 20 minutes from now, when I will finish doing the analysis on Bitcoin and my shitcoins and so on, your message will be buried up. So go on Twitter. Exactly as I said, stop asking me to check anything here. Just go on Twitter and put your request down in the comments. All right? I'm here. Don't worry. I just went for a glass of water. Okay. So we can also watch a little bit Bitcoin dominance. It's ranging, as I mentioned. You can see we had a pretty good reaction here over range lows. I'm expecting it to go back to 60% area to have a bearish retest and then continue to range. That's a daily time frame, but on monthly, I do think that we are witnessing exactly the same stuff. As long as we hold the 57% area, 58% area, I think we can see something like this. And that would be the local top for Bitcoin dominance, exactly like we witnessed here. So there might be more strength in Bitcoin dominance than it might show. Someone asked why I didn't went for a swing failure. Well, because I saw that the market won't just swing failure that pivot low and will actually create equal lows. It's technically speaking, it's a big Wyckoff distribution going on here, and that's the reason. Now I'll try to play what market gives me. Absolutely that I think everyone has the eyes on Monday low and Monday high here. But as you saw lately, the problem is that we have OMC news this week, and it might be a little bit counterintuitive and it might be a bit more difficult than the average six-pack Joe, let's say, would expect the market to be. So that's why I'll try to use multiple confluences like you saw for taking a setup. So for example, on Bitcoin, we do have a clear ascending channel here. And you can see the market, it's holding it pretty nice. Yeah, exactly here. Nice rejection of the range highs. Again, market might tap again the range lows and bounce again. All right, let's go on Ethereum and then I'll go on altcoins. Ethereum, I explained yesterday some of my plans on Ethereum Bitcoin. It's not looking bad, but it might take a little bit more time. Thing is that when Ethereum Bitcoin starts to outperform, that will happen really fast and it will take maximum few weeks and it's done. Because some people ask me, well, you expect Bitcoin to range and Ethereum to start performing? Yeah. If you go previously, when Ethereum started outperforming, it doesn't need any reasoning. It's really out of nowhere. Let's put it like that. But the signs are there, and the signs usually are Ethereum Bitcoin weekly or high time frame double bottom structure like we had here, Yeah, same stuff, bullish retest and higher. And then we can observe it also on Ethereum USDT based on location and overall structure. I did mention last time that if we get a weekly candle close above, that's a pretty good buying opportunity. And we were around 1.6 thousand area. We had a weekly candle closing above. And indeed, the market can spend a little bit more time here, something like this. And then reject once again this area, 2.2. That's the first line in the sand, let's put it like that, but can also do some sort of ranging, continue to range because it's summertime, and we can see even 2.7, swing failure, the pivot high, and then reject. So it's a probability for market to do that. I don't expect any major breakouts in the summer. That's the point. I expect the market to range, and that's exactly what most people don't want. Even more ranging in these areas. Now, if I'm going on a daily time frame, I said yesterday, be careful with this trend line and this 38.2. Yeah, and look at it. The market's actually rejecting it perfectly. And this key horizontal. Now, I did draw a power of 3, and then you'll say, well, what about that AMD? That AMD has to prove itself. And I explained that yesterday. I'm not a big fan of it until it's confirmed. So what I want from the price action, it's actually bullish retest this W, breakout. Yeah, have something like this, breakout to maybe 2000, 2.2. Then here, if we get a bullish retest, and most of the time we will, something like this, we'll get an ascending channel. That's the area where I'm buying. Yeah. I don't blindly bid anything without a proper confirmation. For anyone who's asking himself, well, you draw an AMD, a power of 3 there, but should I ape now? Should I follow your plan? Make a plan from the beginning and follow it. It's not up to me what you can do or what you should do. That's my plan. That's how I'm trading it. All right. So I'm not yet in this scenario. I have from the previous scenario with the weekly time frame confirmation, I bought some at 1.6. But in this case, I don't have anything else. All right. So this one is pending and it has to prove itself. Let's go into altcoins a little bit. I mentioned about Aave that it's a pretty good coin for me, and technicals also are sustaining it, and not only, but it has a very good use of case. I did mention that anything that's below 60 to 55, it's a bid for me, and I'm buying because it's an easy sell half on double. And as you can see, we held perfectly that area. So yeah, I'm buying Aave around 60 bucks and lower. And I'm aiming for a sell half on a double. What's above 100 bucks? I'm taking out my initial and I'm out. AR, it's in a never-ending range. Atom, I did posted a potential long trade here, which I'm waiting for. We have a clear 3 drives to the, which is actually confirming this range, reclaim this range lows. But in the same time, the market is making lower lows and lower highs. So it's basically in a downtrend, even though we can see some signs of strength and the market trying to hold, it's still a downtrend. Yeah, that's why I'm not aiming for something like this where the price is making a higher high. I'm just aiming for a 3-to-1 where the price is just making a lower high. All right. Yeah, there's a lot of altcoins now. Well, look at this. I mean, after a more than 80% dump, it's absolutely normal to have a dead cat bounce. But honestly, I'm not, how to say it, I'm not buying this dead cat bounces, and I'll take the profits accordingly. 140 and 1.2. I'm expecting an AMD from CheVX. I have a small position for the moment. And same like in the Ethereum case, I'm waiting for a reclaim with strength of this level. and then maybe I'll buy some more. But for the moment, it's failing to deliver. Dash, I still have this swing long. I have this 4-hour swing long on Doge. For the moment, it's still holding the neckline of this breakout. I already took the partial, so oh my god, I just hate that question mark. As long as we hold above 0.087, there is still room for higher on this one. Hype, it's going for the highs here. I did mention that I will look for longs around 55, and I even posted some longs here, as you can see. I played a fast 2-1, and then on the reclaim, I said that if I'm getting a retest of this 55.5, I'll take a long again. I didn't have the retest, is what it is. Now, most likely it's going for the high, so I'll just wait there. Okay. Also, I'm looking at this one to pump a little bit. It's a pretty good setup because usually when it had a long sideways consolidation like this, if you look previously, it formed the local bottom. So I went with 0.5 risk on that one. Now, Tao, because I had a lot of questions about it, you can see here that plans went pretty nice on Tao. Both the shorts and the longs went pretty nice. Now I'm waiting for another short fill. I don't have it yet. I said that anything about maybe 292, 302, that area, I look for rejections and a low time frame model. For the moment, I don't have anything. I'm just waiting. I'm still riding the long. XPL, it had a really nice reclaim, which I discussed about. I mentioned that if we get a reclaim with strength of that pivot low, then it's a pretty good setup. And there we go. It reclaimed. I did manage to buy something. 0.5. As I said, I'm not too much. I'm not a big fan of altcoins for the moment, and I will not allocate too much risk towards them. ZEC, I'm waiting for a fill here at 559 for a short setup. I don't have it yet filled. Maybe I'll get front run, but it is what it is. Now, I don't know. Let's see what Bitcoin does on 15 minutes. Yeah, it's just ranging, and I think it's going to push another time, another try to the upside. The main plan, if you'd ask me, well, logically, I'll try to play some Monday high or Monday low, but I think market won't make it that easy, and I don't think it will just make it like 550 minutes deviation. I think they will try to FAFO a little bit more there in those areas. So we might get a failed attempt of breakout above 67,000. But for me, when I have fundamental news like that, I'm just really cautious with the price action, and I'm trying to play confirmations. So I'll try to use multiple confluences like you saw before taking a decision and the low time frame model. and I'll just use lower risk because it doesn't work. Being in a position all the time is not a good plan. Trust me, I've been there. Actually, protecting your capital, not taking a trade, you're a lot of steps in front of your competitors from where the money are coming from when you're trading. All right, I'll be taking some chart requests right now from Twitter. Let's see. But keep in mind, I'm not too eager to put too much risk on the shitcoin. So if I consider that a potential altcoin, it's just not worth it, not worth the time and effort, I would just ignore it and go to the go to the next. All right. So Tao. Yeah, we discussed Tao. I already showed my setups on Tao. Let's go on Peter request. Bloom. Let's see what do we have here. Yeah, it's not looking bad, but look at this forever consolidation since December. Definitely not looking bad. Looks like a Wyckoff accumulation, but you know, this altcoins, I don't have too much hope, honestly. I don't have too much hope. It's just me. I'll just play them level by level. As soon as I get a chance to get my risk-free money, then I'll definitely seek to get my money back from altcoins. Meaning that if I get a pump for 0.021, let's say, and I manage to buy here, I'll definitely take the profits. RSR, let's check it out. Man, really old coin. Yeah, we took all the lows. We are trying some structure here. We have a potential LJ. Then we have a daily W. It's not bad. It's not bad. Going with that daily W, it's not a bad idea if you want to get some swing long positions. But as I said, I won't put too much risk on the table on these altcoins. In and out fast, that's the play for me. Link. Let's delete it. We have a nice power of 3 coming in here. An AMD with a reclaim and a daily W. Same stuff. If you want to put some risk on the table, 8.1, that's the area, and then take profits accordingly to the upside. Man, this is one example of the coins which I discussed about at the beginning. Everyone, you're just going crazy about this one. I'm not touching it. I don't care what this coin does. Someone said that it's double topping. No, the market can stay irrational more time than it can stay liquid, and especially when we're speaking about shit coins. So no, thank you. I'm not going to touch this one. Gold, we had a nice swing failure here. I was mentioning about it. Also, PJ was mentioning it here, but it's already played out. And for example, the profits can be taken here around this area because, as we can see, the price is just making lower highs. So there is a probability that we'll reject again and just go lower. Okay, let's go to the next one. Again, I don't know why people are asking about wild. because I don't see anything on that coin. Let's go to the next one, Near. Well, I was waiting for 1.6 for a retest here, absolutely nothing. Right in the middle of this intermediate range. I'm not going to touch it. Actually, it's entering short low zone. No, thank you. And FET, it actually gave another entry on the long setup that I was mentioning here. So you can see, I don't know if anyone managed to take it, but I did explain that anything below this line, 0.18.5, that area, it's a pretty good bidding area. I'm a bit sick, I don't know, I have a throat cold. Dusk, not dark. Dusk USDT. Well, I have to tell you that I played Dusk left and right. I played it here, managed to take profits on the red box. This is a good accumulation area in my books. Now it depends a lot on how the market will react, but as you can see, the downtrend is still intact. Yeah, and I'm not expecting too much until we get out of that downtrend. All right. ICP. ICP. Let's check it out. Well, ICP, I still have an issue with those equal lows, honestly. Too many eyes on it, and I just don't think that a shitcoin will just leave the equal lows like that. Once again, on the YouTube chat, as I said, if you want to put a chart request, you go on Twitter and you put it on Twitter, not on YouTube. All right, I'll totally ignore the chart requests that you ask on YouTube. There's a link. You can post there your request. So ICP, I'm still waiting for a swing failure of the pivot lows there at $2. It's still an altcoin. I don't think that it has, I don't know, it had cured anything or did too many things in order to front run those equal lows. So I'm waiting for the sweep. Now let's go to could you chart nobody? Oh my God. Where do you guys find these coins? I'm really wondering. I mean, you have to do some extensive research to find crap shitcoins like that. Better put the time and effort towards some stocks than just shitcoins, because these ones are failing quite a lot if you don't have a good plan. Stocks are doing the same, especially if you don't have a plan, but shitcoins are hurting more from my experience. So yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't touch it. If you manage to buy that daily to weekly W breakout at 0.0037, all right. Look for a sell half on a double and that's it. But other than that, I wouldn't touch it. I mean, look at the 1 hour chart. Look at it. Okay, let's say that. Well, did you run KuCoin? Okay, I don't think it's too relevant. Nobody USD. Okay, okay. I hope you got the idea. XDC. What the heck is that? Also mention if you want the stock or you want the coin. Same story. No. Yeah, it can put the same pattern and easily pump a little bit, but I do get it. There's a lot of people who came in the last year, in the last few years. They didn't witness how much a coin can dump, and they didn't witness how much pain if you don't have a plan, something like that can create. So you have to be really careful with the altcoins. That's why I'm not trying to add risk on the altcoin side for my personal portfolio. We just have lower lows and lower highs. Just look at daily, look at weekly. They are just prepared for more pain, actually, to the downside. Indeed, you might say that the risk to reward is there, but the coins that are performing are the ones like hyperliquid, let's say, that they have a reasoning behind their performance. Indeed, having a bullish structure helps, but it's not everything when you take a look at the chart. When you have a daily W, a power of 3, maybe you have a market maker buy model, and so on. But that doesn't help too much if you don't have a proper planning, if you don't have risk management, if you don't have a system which has been proved to be profitable. You're just trying your luck, and that's what most of the people are doing, sadly. So try to put the luck part aside and start thinking in probabilities, start making plans. Pengu, I don't like it. Lower lows, lower highs, equal lows made here. I'm not liking it. I'm not liking what I see. Let me check if I have any other requests. Solana. Oh, Solana, it's a coin that we can play with, but yeah, we have exactly the same structure like we have on Ethereum. That big swing failure, reclaim of the range lows. There is a good probability that if we go back and retest this area, I might look for a long here. Yeah, because we have the breakout confirmation now. And if I get a retest of 67.5, then most likely I will try some longs around here, something like that. Yeah, and then I'll zoom out and see maybe the mid-range target. Yeah, actually 87, this area here. So I do think that we can play something like that on Solana. Okay. Yeah, the chart is actually looking pretty nice. CRV, we discussed about Link, we discussed about ADA. We didn't discuss about ADA. But man, I'm not a big fan of holding any other altcoin than trading it, as I said earlier. It lost this key pivot level at 0.22, then it has to go even lower. So 0.1 is just free falling. I don't see any reason to take any setup on this coin. XLM, well, XLM was quite nice, quite profitable to trade. We had a nice long on this one. Okay, this chart, 1 second. I think spot. Yeah, this was the long which we had. Well, oh my God. What was this? 0.23, 0.16. Man, that's more than a 35, 40% candle. Damn me, 35. No, I'm not willing to play this game. Nice swing failure of the lows and reclaim. But most likely what happens after a violent push like that we'll just create a range. So there is a good probability that market will find the local top around here, but the location is awful. Get into 0.24, 25, reject, get back inside range, and then sweep 0.17. But I don't know what happened here. I think I did check Tena previously. I just spoke about it. This one. I did try the long and I was stopped out on this one. Yeah, actually, let's leave it there because they are key resistance areas. No. Indeed, we have exactly the same pattern of a potential 3 drives, but as we can see, the price is just ranging. Indeed, if you are a big fan of taking something at range lows. But why I'm really careful with the altcoins is the fact that Bitcoin might roll over here. Yeah, and it's in an area where I'm looking for shorts on a low time frame. I'm speaking about 1 hour to 4 hours. So there is quite a good probability for altcoins to roll over, go back. For example, tap this 4-hour FEG, something like this. And if you're aiming to take a breakout setup here, instead of having 5-to-1 risk to reward, you will end up with a crap trade like that. So instead of waiting for something like this, yeah, you will start chasing something like this. It's really important to make a plan and understand if it's really worth the risk to reward, if there is a high probability play over there, or it's just some self-invalidation of your emotions and your thoughts, because a lot of trading comes and a lot of mistakes are actually coming from people that they just want to validate their own opinions. I don't know what nowadays is. I have no idea. Well, I have no idea why people they are not pushing the like button. More than 100 people and only 20 likes. Up to them. Take a look at Sui. So once again, last time that I'm mentioning, I'm not taking any chat request from the live stream. Go on Twitter and post in the comments. Let's go back on Bitcoin, see what we have. Yeah, I'm not expecting here. I think shorts are piling up aggressively, but we don't have a location. I mean, before 61.8, I don't think so. I think it will spike aggressively to the upside. Here is where I'll take profits. I'm all right. I'll just play level by level. And what's this? A 2R. Yeah, because the stop loss was here. That's how I framed it. Yeah, a 2-to-1 is to reward, perfect 2-to-1. And I'll be out and that's it. Yeah, I'm not willing to take anything else, honestly. I'll post the new plans, depending on a lot on how also USDT will take the levels. Because, for example, we are rejecting here, we might go for a deep dive again, and that means that Bitcoin will pump again. That's why I'm saying that we might get a higher push than 67,200, and actually we can go here to 68,200. But definitely this is an area where market might be met with some resistance. Let me check if I have any other requests on Twitter. Yeah, sorry for coughing. I don't know, I have a sour throat. Actually, it's hurting a little bit. Maybe from ice cube water and stuff like that. So let's recap a little bit. I'll just try to play level by level. 15 minutes, 1 hour. I won't try to be a smart ass in this period and put too much risk on the table or take too many trades, because we have big news around the corner. And also keep in mind the fact that when the market is pumping like we are doing before news, it's just the probabilities what they're doing, especially on crypto. They are just marking a local top. So I did posted longs at the bottom, 59,400. I publicly posted that I'm longing, but now I'll put the charts back. Now is not the time to be really, I don't know, too bullish. The thing is that we are actually hitting multiple areas. Yeah, let's actually draw it properly. Maybe maybe I'll get another chart. 1 second. There you go. So actually, we are hitting multiple confluences here, and this is what I explained the other day. Is the fact that if you want to take some longs, wait at least. Okay, you're really bullish and you really think that Bitcoin is going to 80,000. At least wait for 65,700 or a bullish retest around here of the neckline 64,000. That would be my area. Yeah. Here, this daily W. I would be waiting for that area and see how the market is reacting. Definitely, I would not chase here right in the middle. That makes me think that we can indeed get another push from 67 to 68, get a bearish retest of this key horizontal, 38.2, trend line, reject, and then we go back to a long reload zone retest or this W neckline. That's my overview, and that's how I aim to play it. That's why, for example, here I aim to go on a 1 hour time frame, take some nice good risk to reward short setups. Something like this. And then once again, I'll aim to take some longs here. This is how I play it. Now, if anyone else thinks that it should be played different, well, make a plan and do it for yourself. But this is how it proved to be profitable for me. Now, speaking about spot portfolio and stuff like that, that's a whole nother story and has nothing to do with the fact that I'm trying to short on a 15 minutes, 30 minutes time frame a location which some people might think it's good to accumulate on spot. So it has absolutely nothing to do. Well, it's actually 706. I use it for years. I'm not a big fan of the jokes with the fact that people are using Fibonacci like 75% instead of using the GAN box. GAN, it's 75%, not Fib. So yeah, that's a whole nother story. Well, you have ChatGPT, you have AI. You can ask AI which is closer to the sweet spot and which number actually makes sense in the Fibonacci sequence. That will clarify it. Yeah, I'll actually go and take some honey. So having that in mind, let's see what we can have, what we can trade. Yesterday call, I think it was pretty accurate. You can see we dumped exactly from the pivot point which I mentioned. Also, we bounced quite nice of the 65.6, which I also mentioned yesterday. Now I'm just waiting because we are right in the middle. If you put a fib, you'll see we are in the equilibrium zone, which is an area which I don't usually want to touch. Let's see what New York has to offer us. That being said, see you on Discord in 4 hours from now with Paul at New York trading session. Or if you're not on Discord, I'll also post the plans on Twitter. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hear you later. Bye-bye.